Welcome to the Come On Podcast. My name is Zach. This is my friend Sawyer here. We are bringing you truth in the trenches. Today we're just going to have a conversation. We don't even know where it's going to go. We're going to talk about life, Jesus, and comments.
Yes.
Thank y'all for joining us.
Yep.
What's up?
Hey.
Just so y'all know, it's 6 a.m. here.
It's every bit of 6 a.m.
We
right
worked
now.
our tails off yesterday.
Yeah. We ate. What time did we eat? Like 1:30?
Yeah.
And then had a 2-hour drive back. That was dumb.
That's the time of day to take a nap.
Yeah, because I was tired. I was very tired. And then my wife wanted to go on a date last night.
Yeah, we actually went to Jack's Barbecue.
Love that place. What time do they close?
I don't know.
They stay open late?
Maybe like 8 or something. 9, I'm not sure. They may stay open later on Fridays.
I don't know if I've ever had barbecue for dinner. Barbecue is more of like a lunch thing for me.
It was good. What did I get? Oh, I got the ribs. Brisket's really good.
That's what I've always heard. Like, if a barbecue place is really good, if their brisket's good.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't get that because everywhere I've ever gone, it's really good.
The place that you took me in Mississippi when we were going for down south to that job, remember that barbecue place you took me?
Yeah.
That was the best brisket I've ever had.
That was really good.
That was really good. Like
I forgot about that place.
Like melt in your mouth. Good.
Yeah.
And it was like salt and pepper.
Yeah.
What they seasoned it with. It seems like, I don't even know. That's what I tasted.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. You were talking about ChatGPT earlier. My cat left the other day, like escaped my house. And I was flipping out.
Trying to figure out how to find her. Her or him? Her.
Yeah. She used to be an outside cat like 5 years ago before we got her. And then we got her and just never let her outside. But she still has her front claws. So, I mean, I think that means that they could survive. She got out. And I was just like, I called Kirsten and I told her, and she was kind of like, because I accidentally left the door open a little bit, or like I think it didn't shut all the way, and then the wind kind of blew it open.
Yeah.
So when I got home, my back door was wide open. So I was like, oh great. And so,
what about your dog?
He's in his kennel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's a gated, like the backyard's gated.
Okay.
So I mean, if he got out, it wouldn't be bad. But she can get under that.
She
fence.
can do, yeah.
She's a gymnast. She's insane. I've seen her jump and she's a fat cat, dude. Like fat. I've seen her like flat-footed jump on top of my fridge, and I'm like, you are a super athlete. If you were the size of me, you would take over the world. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I ChatGPT. It was like 5:00 in the afternoon, and ChatGPT was like, put her cat litter outside, put her food, bed, stuff that like familiar smells. And I was like walking around the yard, and I just kept reading, and it said, "Don't look during the day. You probably won't find her during the day." And it said, "When it gets night, go out and look for her." Okay, because you can their eyes. You can see their
flashlight?
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they feel more comfortable during the night, apparently. So I was like, all right, whatever. So it like gets dark, and then I walk outside. 10 minutes, I find her. It was crazy.
Huh.
So ChatGPT is, I'm sold.
Very useful.
I'm about to sink all my money into it.
That's the thing. Like, people hate on it or whatever, but it's like me and Jim was talking about this. So back in the day, even before our time, which when I was really young, we still did this, but you would have to go to the library, search out a book, like start reading that book, and then realize, oh crap, this ain't what I need to be reading. And then go get another book
and
read it and try to, like if you were trying to study something. that was more like Jim's time, you know. Like
Yeah.
when I was young, I wasn't studying anything. I was just reading like, you know, children's books. But
Yeah.
still, they had to do that. You know, then come along the computer, and Google, so you could research it, but you still had to, like, you might be able to Google something, but you still had to like find blogs and study the blogs and find all the information, you know, go
Yeah.
through all the resources and,
Yeah.
and pick out what you needed to know,
Yeah.
or the good stuff. Well, now you just use Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Research is, dude, there's no, how many files are out there? Trillions, probably,
So many.
or bazillions, you
Yeah.
know, whatever, the biggest
So
number.
many.
I mean, the data centers, you gotta, like, they're insane, you know, and so it's like, all right, well, I can either spend, you know, could be days trying to research stuff, or I can spend literally like 30 seconds
Yeah.
and get the information I need.
That kind of reminds me of what we were talking about yesterday with the, like, I wonder if that's, I mean, I know for a fact, like, in a way it's crippling us in a sense,
Yeah.
but it's also like, how much more efficient are we now versus you have to read 3 books in order to get one answer back then, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas 10 minutes, I got my answer, you know, right here.
Yeah, it's going to speed up our world even faster than it is.
But I wonder, like, as far as, like, our brain function, you know.
Yeah, what it'll do.
You know
That's
what I
what
mean?
Lauren was saying. Wondering.
And, you know, you can find the negative in everything. You can find the negative in, you know, researching 3 books, you know, like in Jim's
That's
time.
what I was about to say. Think about the computer. They were like, oh, that's going to ruin it, you know.
Yeah.
And no, it's just how it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still
I
gonna
mean, it
use
just is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
Yeah.
and it's one of those things. I've listened to Gary Vee a lot, and that's what he says. You're either going to jump on the train or you're just going to get left behind because it's going to happen. You know, people are like, oh, they're going to get my social security number. Who cares, man?
Yeah, let them have it.
Yeah, people's gotten my stuff, and you just go get another card, and they give you your money back. I mean, it's like, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
But speaking of ChatGPT, I had to use it because we were reading, or I was reading the book "Every Thought Captive."
That's a great book, by the way.
Dude, it's excellent.
So good.
I got 4 chapters left. I need to really get on that book, because I'm ready to get on Screw Tape Letters.
Mm-hmm.
But he was talking about Paul in Romans 12:2, where he wrote, you know, do not conform to the pattern of this world, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's our version.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him saying the leb, which is, I thought it was a Greek word. Good thing I chat GPT'd this really quick. I said, is leb a Greek word? And a Greek word. Whoa. Greek word.
You just cussed.
Yeah, I can't talk. And it says, no, it's not a Greek word. It's a Hebrew word. So leb is a combination of your mind, which is your thoughts, your will, which is your decisions, and your inner man, which is your core identity. So he was saying transform yourself. Well, we don't do it ourselves, obviously, but transform your mind, your heart is connected. And there's other verses that talk about like what you speak. Like I remember we talked about, you know, your tongue is like just like basically connected to your heart. So whatever you say, that's actually what's really in there.
Yeah.
You know? And so anyway, just thinking about that is it's kind of eye opening, really, that, you know, how and I know God obviously spoke through Paul, but my goodness, like he's got some knowledge.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, wow.
Like dedicated his whole life. I mean, all the Pharisees and Sadducees, like, I mean, and we can read, you know, what it took to like become that. You know, that's like the Navy SEAL of pastors. You know what I mean? Like, you dedicate your whole life to it, and you got to think of like the brain matter used to memorized the entire New Testament or Old Testament. I mean,
Oh yeah.
what
Yeah, because it's yeah.
the most boring books ever.
This person begat this one and
Yeah,
all that stuff.
like and memorized it.
Yeah.
You know, able to like from memory, just off the dome, say it.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And you know, they didn't have. You know, they weren't just like sitting around with a Bible. You know, memorizing scripture. They had
Yeah,
giant
go get
scrolls. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And they had to memorize it like that. You know, and just and if you didn't make it, you just didn't make it. And the ones that made it, like they were sold to it,
Yeah.
dedicated to it, and it just, I mean, and Paul, you know, he was a part of that. And I mean, just just dedicating his entire life, just very, very, very intelligent. I don't think we can comprehend just how crazy smart they were.
Yeah. And to think about, that's another what we're about to, or what I was going to lead to is he that you think about his transformation that we just went through in
Yeah.
Acts. I mean, he was just hardcore one way and in an instant, basically.
Yeah.
Or it was just in
Yeah.
an instant he was transformed.
Mhm.
I mean, and so he, just speaking of that verse, I mean, he understood that verse because
Yeah.
it really happened to him,
Yeah.
so.
Mm.
But that leads us into our comment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the comment exactly was, but regardless, it was, basically it's crazy. I think it was something like it's crazy that you could actually believe that.
Yeah.
I
What
think
was what was he referring to?
I think we were talking about the floating, the teleportation.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, and I get it, man. It is like,
That is a crazy thing to believe.
yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy,
Yeah.
and I think back on that stuff, and your first inclination is to like be real defensive and kind of like you're an idiot or something like that.
Yeah.
But man, honestly, it's actually the opposite feeling. Like it's like crap, man. Like I understand where he's at, and it sucks,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it sucks for him because
Yeah.
of what I believe and what I know. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just you can't. The book that we're reading, the Every Thought Captive, Kyle Otterman talks about the woman at the well, and you know, Jesus, had every right to be, frustrated at the time. It was hot. It was, he was thirsty. He didn't have anything to get to draw water out with. So he's just sitting at the well, and she comes up and she's about to draw water, and he starts talking to her. And at that time, they weren't supposed to be talking to each other, like socially, like that's shouldn't be happening. But Jesus is Jesus, and he's doing it. And so she's a Samaritan woman, and he's a Jew. And anyways, her first reaction to him was like defensive, was like attacking his character, or not necessarily attacking his character, but like trying to get a reaction out of him. And so like bringing up a subject that Jews and Samaritans often fought over, and it was where should we worship, and at that time socially that was a big kind of like us bringing up like a Democrat versus a Republican, sort of type thing, that's
touchy subject there.
Yeah, exactly. And Jesus just didn't skip a beat, he was just like, he wasn't going to fall for it. But I mean, you can't just, and if you go on to read that story, the woman, becomes a Christian and tells her whole town about Jesus. I mean, and so you can't, one, you don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what they've experienced. You don't know, what they're going through. Two, don't just count them off. I mean, their experiences are just as real as your experiences. And so, man, I don't know what that guy was going through. I don't know what he's, and you almost feel bad for him because like he's scrolling online and then finds a video, and then, we've never, I don't know him. I've never met him before. And so, but he, he wanted to comment and I wouldn't say attack us, but I mean, it seemed as though
Yeah.
he wanted to kind of,
It's almost like he's angry that we believed.
yeah, yeah. And that's okay. That's okay. 'Cause there's a lot of things that I read or I watch and I'll be angry. I can get fired up and for no reason, has nothing to do with me, but I'll still get fired up. And
Yeah.
so trying to benefit of the doubt or, there's a word there I'm not saying. I don't even know what it is. But
Big word.
yeah, it just I feel bad for him, but also I get it. Like I've been there and I'm there often. So
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, you know, situations like that, and like I said, man, it the thing is, when you believe the Bible, uh, you somebody whose heart's hardened, or they're blind, spiritually blind, you're not going to believe any of this.
mhm.
I mean, I used to read these stories, and I literally, or hear about them. I shouldn't say read. I used to hear about the stories in the Bible, and I literally could not believe them.
Yeah,
And it wasn't that like I wasn't interested. They're interesting or whatever stories. I mean, they are as
hmm,
even as a non-believer. But it's just like I literally couldn't understand it. But then, you know, the thing is, when you have and then I have my salvation moment. Obviously, things started to, and it's not that you just blindly believe everything. Some of this stuff is still crazy sounding,
yeah,
and it's some of it you question. I think you should.
mm,
Just like the guy was trying to make a point, if you can't have your belief changed, then that's the problem or whatever. And it's hard to comment back and forth with somebody and not necessarily argue, but like conversate back and forth
sure,
because obviously I'm not saying that I'm not changing my belief just because I'm hardcore set. Oh, this is real or whatever. I'm just saying like you're not going to change my main belief.
yeah, yeah,
But the some of the stuff I do question them. Not
sure.
not that it not whether or not necessarily it's true. It's just kind of like, dang, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, the guy just floated off. Are you kidding me? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like that's insane.
The only way it happens is if there's a God that's
Yeah,
powerful, which I
yeah,
believe is. But
right.
and also so to the point of all this stuff being a fairy, us having a fairy God and all this. We just talked about this yesterday. Uh, it's like, and I know Phil Robertson said it, and I've heard a lot of people say this, but it's like, man, if uh, as a Christian, if I live my life now and follow the Bible, follow this book, I'm gonna act like this is this
Hmm.
isn't actually real. If
Yeah.
I follow this book, like I found this book at the library and I studied it, or I got ChatGPT to research the Bible and give me a 12-step
Overview. Yeah.
program of how I need to live my life. And it did that. And we discount all the like spiritual stuff out of it. Just read the book. So I don't kill people. I don't cheat.
Hmm.
I don't lie. I don't do all the stuff. Basically, the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
Or in this sense, I just love my neighbor.
Yeah.
And that's all I do my whole life. At the end of it, if I'm wrong,
You lived a good life.
yeah,
Yeah.
lived a good life. But if I'm somebody who, or like in my case, if I live for God and love God and love my neighbor, live my whole life and it's not true, I'm in a casket.
Yeah.
I lived a good life. Everybody that I left behind, hopefully, is like, wow, that dude was a good dude.
Yeah.
If I get to the end though, and it's real, wow,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But if I'm on the flip of that, and I didn't want to believe and live my own way and all that and said it wasn't real. And again, I understand people are spiritually blinded and all that. I get all that, but just if I lived my whole life and just live for myself and do selfish things, and I get to the end and it's real,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah. And I mean, a bit, and it may just be me, but I like there are often times where I'll just be thinking because obviously, I mean, we're doing a podcast about this. You know what I mean? Like we started something that we do every week. You know, we take an hour or 2 hours out of our time to study this. And then we also go to, we dedicate one day a week where we go to church. And then, we try to read this book every single day. We try to pray or talk to someone every single day, that the book is about the God. Essentially, we've dedicated our entire lives around this subject. But there are days where I'm just like, man, what if, and I'm just being vulnerable, but like, what if this isn't real? And I'm sure there's a lot of people that have had that question. And I think back on John the Baptist. He was in prison, and he had dedicated his entire life to sharing the gospel and to baptizing people. And then he sent someone to Jesus while he was in prison and asked and told the guy to ask Jesus, like, are you really Jesus? Like, is this for real? Because like even he doubted.
He started questioning it.
Yeah. And Jesus didn't say like, who the heck are you? Like, are you serious, bro? No, he was like, look, go back and tell John. I'm like, it's about like, you'll see.
Yeah.
This is real. And so, man, it's just, I understand what we believe is absolutely crazy. It like, once you really think about it and look at it, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But man, if I'm right, and I believe I am, wow.
It's going to be even crazier.
Crazy.
To experience.
Yeah.
I think about, so, and again, so in that, I think, I guess to say we're having this conversation, not because like we're trying to prove that guy wrong or and us right or any of that. I mean, I just felt like it's a good time to have this conversation just about Christianity, period. Just believing, not believing, living life, whatever.
Yeah.
But in one of my comments, I said, that you can't, like the evidence. He was looking for evidence. Is my testimony, and he said that was just feelings, But here's it's more than feelings. Like, dude, if you were a fly on the wall watching me, and some of these guys that I was working with at the time or worked with in the past, or were friends with, would tell you like, dude, wild out. I mean, just crazy stuff, and I wasn't even like trying to do better, if that makes sense. Literally, I mean, I wasn't like I was going to therapy and trying to be a better person or nothing. Nothing. I just literally, my grandpa died, and I was like, man, they were talking about how he was such a godly man. I was like, I'm gonna see what. I'm just literally gonna investigate church. I wasn't like in deep studies of Hebrew and learning Greek and traveling to Israel. I was just studying some people that were talking about the Bible. I wasn't even reading like necessarily the Bible, if that makes sense,
Right.
And just all of a sudden, I mean, in a second, I go from all these thoughts and actions. I mean, I was hungover at the moment, and just all of a sudden changed. I mean, I didn't do that. I wasn't trying to change, I was doing the same old. Yeah. And so it's like, for me personally, and that's why it's between you and God, you're not going to change my mind because of that experience.
Yeah. And I can't present you with that fact. Like, I can't say like, here's the video of my brain transformation, like I just can't, here's what actually happened during my thoughts. But yeah, I mean, that's the power of your testimonies, you just can't change it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get it. And the evidence part, like, again, I was there.
Yeah.
But you can evidence your way back into a hole that you don't have any evidence for,
He brought up that, a lot of the people that go to seminary end up becoming atheists. And Brandon Clark, who's been on the podcast before, he said the same thing. He's like, every day I worry, like I have to fight that because, in seminary, he has to study like the Torah. He has to study the Muslim book. What is it? The Quran.
Hurrah.
Different. He has to study different religions, and he's like, he said that he was studying the Quran, and he was like, dang, it makes sense. Like they have good points.
Yeah.
There's, I mean, they're not stupid. Essentially, like their religion has, just like ours, like it has really good points. And so it's easy to get caught up in that, because I mean we live in the Bible Belt. I mean, of course we're going to be Christians. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
of course we grew up around it. Mom and dad brought us to church. Like, of course, this is what we ended up being. And I get that. Like, I totally understand that. And that's one thing that like I always want to check myself on is like, I don't want to be naive.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Exactly.
want to, just be gullible and, do what everybody else is doing. And,
Quite
but
frankly, I think both of us are the opposite of that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, I mean, Christianity is hard. And I don't know. I mean, like, it just is. Like, I want to drink. I want to smoke. I want to, uh, you know, do all these things. But man, the Bible tells me not to do it. And yeah, it makes me a better person in a sense in the end. But those things feel a lot better. You know what I mean? Not living for God feels a lot better. In the flesh, I mean, not long term, obviously. But I don't know. As far as the seminary thing goes, man, like, yeah, that's true. Because once you really get into this book, like, man, the Bible's not pretty. There's a lot of
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of death. There's a lot of, outside looking in, you can read about God and come to a conclusion that, man, he sucks. You can. I know a lot of people that have done that. And I mean, you know, from a human standpoint, I understand that. And there's still days where I have to battle that, where I have to, but my faith, I have to have faith and know that, man, God made those decisions and is still making decisions in a just, righteous way. Like, he is completely 100% sovereign. And so I have to believe that every decision he makes, regardless of my feelings towards it, is a sovereign decision, is a right decision.
Yes.
And my understanding of it is just wrong, or I just don't see the entire picture, which I know that I don't.
Yeah.
Because if I saw the entire picture, I would do exactly what God does. You know what I mean? And I just don't. And so I just have to have faith. But I understand how people come to that conclusion that, like, man, I'm not giving my life to this. I get that. It sucks, but I understand it. And so, I mean,
Yeah. It's just how it is. I mean, and like I said, I'm not even mad at that guy or nothing like that. And
no, of course.
And I just think it sparked a really good conversation and thoughts, around that.
Made me think.
Yeah, and I mean, I've had, trust me, I was on exactly where he's at.
Me too.
Where's the number one question? Well, where did God come from?
Yeah.
Well, where'd the earth come from?
Yeah.
If you don't believe in him, where'd the earth come from? Where'd
the matter come from that made the big boom?
And how in the world did the earth just happen to be at the right tilt and the right position and spinning and
the right temperature for us to live in?
Yeah, there's just you hear it all the time. It just takes more faith to not believe in that.
Yeah.
To believe that stuff just happened.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, I think the biggest thing out of that is like for as a Christian and other Christians listening, that when somebody comes to you like that, you just can't be mad at them. You literally can't. They just don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And again, going back to the other religions, that makes you think like, well, people say, just go back to like speaking in tongues. People say, well, that was, that's old. God didn't do that. But you're putting limitations on God, and I'm just literally speaking off the dome here, which is what we always do. But like the Torah and stuff, I've never read it or
Yeah.
anything. And I hope I'm probably really wrong. I don't know, because I may be speaking out. Like I said, I've never read it, so I don't know. But could it not be God?
Yeah.
Just in a different way? I don't know. Or a
Yeah.
different book,
Right.
for different people. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. I see what you mean.
I mean, the Bible wasn't written in English, originally. So,
That's good.
I mean, I don't know what's in the Torah. So it may be a
Sure.
terrible book. It tells you to kill
Yeah.
people that don't believe what you believe. I don't know. But
Sure.
it doesn't sound like the God I know. The God I know is about loving
I
people.
think the Torah is the Jewish Bible.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're super educated.
I don't know. But no, I know what you mean. I mean, it just, who are we to place limits on God?
Yeah, what'd you call it? The Quran.
Quran.
That's not what I meant. Just Torah, yeah, Quran.
Corona.
Yeah, the Torah is the foundation of the Bible's Old Testament. Duh. That's what they used to study. How do you... Well, I'll see.
Q?
It's a Q.
I think it's a Q. Quran. Crayon.
Quran.
Yeah. I'm not making fun of it. I'm just.
Yeah,
I'm
it
just
says it's
dumb.
the holy book of Islam, believed by Muslims to be the direct word of God, revealed to Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah, Brandon said he read that mug, and he said that it makes a lot of sense. Like, it's tempting.
Oh, it has stories of Adam, Noah, Abraham,
Has Jesus
Moses,
in it.
and Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like I said, I mean, and like, Muslims are very, very, very dedicated people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I envy that. Like, I wish my dedication to God was as was like their dedication. Like, and I 100% I respect it. I don't necessarily believe the same things that they believe, but I mean, I can see, I hope one day that I can have the same dedication to Jesus. As far as like daily, like they don't skip a beat. Like every single piece of their day just about is about serving Muhammad, Allah.
Dude.
I may be saying that wrong.
Again, I'll just give a high level just because we brought it up, but it's basically the biggest difference is the Bible, Christianity teaches that Jesus is the Son of God, God in the flesh, Savior of the world. The Quran, whatever. Jesus was a prophet, so he's not God. He wasn't crucified.
Yeah.
Just not. He was an important figure, but not divine.
Yeah.
The Bible says we're saved through grace, or saved by grace through faith, not earned by works. And the Quran says your salvation is faith plus works.
Yeah.
Your performance is weighed. Huh.
Yep.
Quran is one God, no Trinity. Wow, it's interesting. So I've never studied that. That's what I mean, though. Is I don't know. The book doesn't teach about Jesus the same way.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's differences there, but regardless,
There's major differences in the religions.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like they're very different, but
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense. They have a good, like, they're not stupid.
Yeah, and to that guy's point, he's talking about there's so many religions out there, and there is, but man, at some point you got to pick something, or you got to believe something, or your life's experiences shape you to believe something.
Yeah.
Can't believe nothing. I mean, I guess you can. I guess
Yeah.
you can go through and just not believe anything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that song you played yesterday, like, and the Bible talks about how one day every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. And if I truly believe that, that is scary, as far as, everyone. Because everyone, no matter what religion, no matter what background, no matter where you're from, whatever, like, you will acknowledge God as God, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen. That's what we believe, and that's scary. But it's also like, man, if I truly believe what I believe, then I have to tell everybody. I want to tell everybody, so that when that day comes, even if they didn't reciprocate, even if that guy, never comes to believe, he's gonna know, he's gonna hope maybe, it's not like I'm not dissing him or anything, but like he will know that we loved him enough to like respond and to try.
Yeah.
And what if it was the latter, and what if we didn't respond and we didn't try, then how bad does that look like and we will probably be judged for that, like, why didn't you, like, I offered this person to you on this comment section and you just ignored him, and you just didn't even try
Yeah.
to plant a seed or anything. And so, but what I mean is, like, if we truly believe what we believe, we're going to try to tell everybody, so that everybody makes heaven.
And the only reason you believe it is like I said, is based on some experience.
Yeah.
One major one. And I'll just keep going back to that instant moment like that. But if you go past that though, the moments where trying to make a decision, or maybe you're gonna make a decision and you just get this strong feeling. There's no way that your body just comes up with a feeling to make you make a different decision.
Yeah.
Like I just can't believe that. And so, I believe that's discernment of the spirit, and at the end of the day, there's got to be a God.
Yeah.
There's got to be.
Yeah.
And I believe it's the one God. And I believe Jesus came to earth. I mean, I've done enough outside the Bible research, and you can say people can say whatever they want as far as man-made stuff, but I mean, it dates back a long freaking time, dude. Yeah. And I'm talking about historian people that aren't even religious or maybe didn't even study the Bible necessarily. As far as speaking about Jesus and being on earth and being crucified and coming back.
If it's not true, there's just way too many coincidences, like crazy coincidences that exist, that are just really not, you can't explain them, I mean, but I believe it is true, obviously. And so, I mean, I don't think that they're coincidences. I think that everything that happened was designed by a designer to happen,
Yeah.
And it was perfectly put in place. I believe the earth is at its perfect tilt because of God. I believe that the earth is at the perfect temperature for us to be able to exist because of God. I believe that the smallest molecules exist to do this function versus, the biggest mountains or whatever exist for this purpose for a reason. Like everything happens for a reason. I mean, you have nature documentaries on Netflix that it's Morgan Freeman talking about how crazy our world is and how, like, I mean, just how how everything in the wilderness, like every animal, every molecule, every plant has its own function, and it perfectly puzzle piece fits together, and it, like, everything works for each other.
Yeah.
Like nothing's wasted.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how, like, everything works. And I don't think that's by coincidence. I don't think that happened because of a boom,
Yeah.
And I would have
the saltwater department is Phil Robertson.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I would have to have more faith in that, for that, than I would, like, there's someone orchestrating this.
Yeah.
Think
about your body.
Yeah.
You literally think about something, you're talking, moving your multiple parts of your body, you're breathing at the same time, your heart's pumping the perfect amount of blood, by the way, through your blood vessels that go all over I mean, it's just like, you can go as deep as you want. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
So,
and it's easy to look at, like, well, why is there death? Why is there sickness? Why is, you know, why did my mom die? Why did my, you know, sister die or something, whatever, you know, why do all these bad things happen in life, you know? And it's like, really, it's hard to explain, but I mean, a lot of it's due to, you know, if we believe what we believe, a lot of it's due to, you know, our sin. You know, it was brought on,
It's our
like
fault.
God designed everything to be perfect and we corrupted it. So, you know, therefore we can't have perfection, because perfection is perfect unity with God, perfect communion with God, and God can't be in our presence because we're corrupted. And so, but one day we will be in his presence because of Jesus. And so,
Yeah.
but, you know, all these bad things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what that reason is, but I believe it's because if we didn't have all these bad things, we wouldn't have a perfect God to serve. You know what I mean? Like there wouldn't be a reason to serve God right now. I don't know. It's just bad things happen and it sucks. It's our fault. A lot of it is, but it all happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And
And that's the thing, that we're selfishly, it's bad to us because we're selfish. We don't want anything negative to happen. You know?
Yeah.
But to the bigger scheme,
yeah,
the overall plan, it's got to happen.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's hard to think about certain things that could happen, and you're like, crap, man, if that happened, how would I feel? You know,
Yeah.
like deaths, close family dying or whatever. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think we probably shot all over the place, but the main thing is, I don't know, I like it though. I mean, thing is, just truthfully, we have conversations like this. Me and you do, me and other guys, just all the time. And
Yeah.
so, before this podcast even started, that was kind of the deal. Was like, man, I'd like to just record this. Or honestly, God led me to do that, you know.
Sure.
And so, you know, you just record that conversation. Well, we just looked at it last night, and 90 something thousand people have viewed it, you know.
Yeah.
So, and the reason for us that's cool is not because 90,000 people viewed it and we're like super famous. I don't even want to be famous. We talked about that yesterday too. And it's cool because 91,000 people, yes, some people watched it multiple times or whatever, but let's just say if it's 1,000 people that watched it, you know, 90 times, that's 1,000 people that possibly didn't know about Jesus that now do.
Yep.
That's the biggest, you know, or maybe they do. I don't want to spoil chapter 10, but maybe they do. But one of the biggest conversions you can get is a person that's already in church, you know, that's been doing the motions, and they're hard and kind of semi-hardened heart or whatever. And, and finally God kind of unlocks the real love.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to steal our thunder for chapter 10. But
That's good. I read it this morning. It's really good.
yeah. Yeah. So just the main thing, people, you know, like these comments, if you take them negative or whatever, I took it as literally an opportunity to as a Christian, you kind of forget where your thoughts used to be sometimes. So, and I was right where that guy was. So it was good to kind of rehash, you know, think that through. So the most important thing is when people disagree with you, is just understand that not everybody's going to agree. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Yeah, it's okay. Love them still. It could be a family member. Still show them love. That's just how it is.
Yeah. And if you disagree with us in the comment section, we're going to put you on blast on the podcast.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, the world's going to be the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just have to, and I'm just going to keep on being happy, you know?
Yeah.
Like the other, I don't know if you saw the other comment. The guy was like, wow, I think it's hilarious. But the guy was like, oh, wow, they talked about it. How else would they have spread it? This is very deep or something like that. And I rewatched the little short that it was. And it's like, okay. It was funny, you know? I was like, I like that. But we were saying, though, that they didn't preach the Bible, like come up with sermons and preach it. They were just walking around talking about their actual experience.
Yeah.
And anyway,
People are funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
I do too. Well, dude, if you comment again, that'd be cool to like.
Yeah, I hope so.
I wonder where he's.
I don't
Wouldn't it be cool? And I'm just have him on.
Yeah,
We've
said that before though. I mean, like if you know, I'm not like an apologetic person at all. Like
Yeah.
I'm the honest truth is for me, I might, and you can just say whatever, but for me, and I talked to my friend George about this podcast. This is not a podcast where we're necessarily teaching you the Bible per se. Like we're not educated degrees on the Bible. We're literally learning this stuff.
Yeah.
And like our like little child, like George said,
Yeah.
I really loved how he said that. Our like childlike minds are like, oh my God, did you know about this?
Yeah.
You know, we're just literally learning this.
Real time learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
we didn't like, there's no script. Like
Yeah.
we're not like, all right, we're going to pretend like we discovered something on the podcast. Like, no, we're like reading it and discovering it right there.
It's like the guy when he said, wow, they talked about it. I had to go back and listen to it because I was like, maybe we did just say that, you know, but I took it out of context, but it's fine. And so just wanted to, you know, say that is we're not scholars. We're just literally learning. We're being super vulnerable. See, I can't even talk. Vulnerable. And we're just sharing our kind of eye-opening experiences and what we've learned, what people have shared with us. I mean, walking it through literally live action here.
Yeah, I love it that way because, I mean, it does kind of strip us down. Like, you know, it takes any sort of pride out of it because, I mean, we can have like a super scholar on and they can just blow our minds. Like, you know, I think Chad Chambers and Brandon Clark, Jim McWilliams, Russ Hogan, you know, I believe that those are very, very, very intelligent guys that, man, they know their Bible and they can tell you some stuff that'll make the hair stand up on the back of your neck about God. And I love that. I love hearing those stories, and I love, you know, picking their brain. But I'm not one of those guys. You know, like I know some stuff. I know a lot about the Bible, but I describe my knowledge as very surface level.
Yeah.
Very, you know.
But going deeper.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to
exactly.
That's what I mean by live action. Yeah.
And it's just like, and I love it that way because, I mean, man, if I believe God has me right where he wants me right now, as far as like my knowledge of him and, you know, wanting to grow and learn about him. You know, I don't want to be, I'm not Lee Strobel by any means, you know, but I'm not first grade Sunday school either.
Yeah.
You know? So we're still learning. We're getting there.
But don't you think that's on purpose too?
Yeah.
I believe that those guys you talked about that feed into us is on purpose.
Yeah.
And then for us, we're probably, we are feeding into people that are newer Christians than us, you know, and even some that have been Christian. That's the cool thing about it is you can be, it's just like in we'll use electrical work. You could have somebody doing it for 40 years. I've been doing it for 18. I can teach that guy something. Obviously, he's going to teach me something. I teach you something. Whoa. I teach you something, but you teach me stuff. Yeah. Like people. So it's all, everybody's teaching everybody. Yeah. And so that's what's really cool about it.
Yeah. I love it that way.
Yeah, I do too. Cool. I don't really care what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
I mean,
fight you.
But anyway, tune in next week for Acts chapter 10.
Yeah. Just know if you comment again, dude, I may ChatGPT a response to you to sound smarter.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Awesome. Well, we hopefully y'all got something out of this. It just kind of, I mean, literally a conversation. Didn't know where this was going to go.
Yeah.
And again, we appreciate the comment. I mean,
yeah, seriously,
I didn't take it as negative.
Yeah.
You know, I really initially you can be kind of defensive, but it's like, wow, you know, that's we need that. We need to be checked, and it made me dig in, you know, and think, kind of rethink.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it made me believe even more because I started thinking about my transformation myself. So.
Yeah, for sure. And dude, we love you. I
Yeah.
don't know who you are, no clue where you're from, whatever. Don't know your background, but you know, and anyone that, you know, would like to respond or like to comment something similar, you know, we don't hate you, obviously. We don't want to, you know, discourage you from sharing your thoughts because we're sharing our thoughts. So, you know, do it. We'd love to hear it.
Yep. All right. Well, we love y'all. We will see you next week and hope you enjoy. Y'all have a great week.
Come on. See ya.
Come on.